Messiah complex. The Messiah complex is a behavioral pattern in which an individual views themselves as a savior, leader, or messianic figure. Such individuals often feel an intense need to be worshipped, followed, or revered by others. They may believe they possess a unique destiny or mission to save or transform others. This term can also represent a mental state where a person believes they are an actual Messiah or prophet, assigned with the task of saving or redeeming people in a religious context. The Messiah complex can manifest in various situations, ranging from political and religious leaders to those occupying positions of authority or influence. Oedipus complex. The Oedipus complex is a psychological theory developed by Sigmund Freud. It suggests that during early childhood, typically between the ages of 3 and 6, a child experiences subconscious sexual attraction to the opposite sex parent and develops feelings of jealousy towards the same-sex parent, viewing them as a rival. Freud contended that this complex is a normal developmental stage that most children eventually outgrow, resolving these feelings as they identify more with the same-sex parent. The name's origin stems from the Greek myth of Oedipus, who unknowingly killed his father and married his mother. Peter Pan complex. The Peter Pan complex describes older individuals whose emotional lives have remained at an adolescent level, often avoiding responsibilities and commitments while preferring a more irresponsible and youthful attitude. This complex takes its name from Peter Pan, a character known for his refusal to grow up and desire to stay eternally young. Individuals with this complex typically delegate important decisions to others, exhibit dependent behaviors emotionally and financially, and demonstrate a low tolerance for frustration. It is noteworthy that this complex is not recognized by the World Health Organization and does not appear in the DSM-5, yet it significantly overlaps with narcissistic personality disorder. Adonis complex. The Adonis complex, also known as muscle dysmorphia or vigorexia, is a disorder characterized by an obsession with one's physical appearance to unhealthy levels. Individuals with this complex often maintain a distorted self-image, perceiving themselves as weak. This obsession significantly impacts eating behaviors and physical activity levels, often leading to extreme practices. It predominantly affects men, particularly those who participate in sports where body size or weight are competitive factors. In severe instances, social relationships may be neglected, and other aspects of life can be disregarded in favor of intense training. Some individuals may also excessively consume protein or use anabolic steroids to enhance their muscle mass, mistakenly believing they are leading a healthy lifestyle. Jonah complex. The Jonah complex represents the fear of success, which can hinder self-actualization and tether those affected to behavioral patterns that limit their growth. This complex can arise from fears of stepping out of their comfort zones or breaking routines, as well as from shyness. Developing talents is often linked with attracting the attention of others, which can induce guilt in individuals who feel undeserving of recognition. They may also worry that achieving success might strain their relationships due to potential jealousy from friends and family. Overall, this complex stems from an overwhelming sense of responsibility associated with the achievement of success. Superiority complex. The superiority complex is an unconscious mechanism where an individual displays attitudes of superiority to conceal their insecurities and feelings of inferiority. This complex usually manifests in an exaggerated belief in their exceptional worth, accompanied by inflated self-esteem and the conviction that their opinions, actions, and beliefs are indisputably correct. Individuals with a superiority complex often view others as inferior, using this perspective as a defense against their own shortcomings, and may engage in social withdrawal or daydreaming to avoid facing the fear of failure. Inferiority complex. The inferiority complex involves feeling inferior to others without any rational justification, leading individuals to believe that others possess more qualities and capabilities. This perception may prompt them to overcompensate in various ways. For instance, a shorter individual might wear special shoes to appear taller or associate with people who are even shorter. This complex can also drive attention-seeking behaviors, heighten competitiveness, and aggression as individuals attempt to counterbalance their real or perceived deficiencies. Superman complex. The Superman complex denotes an unhealthy sense of responsibility where individuals believe that others lack the capability to perform certain tasks successfully. Such individuals may feel a constant need to save others, ultimately overwhelming themselves with excessive work while neglecting their own needs. Othello syndrome. Othello syndrome, also referred to as pathological jealousy, describes a delusional disorder in which an individual is firmly convinced that their partner is being unfaithful without any rational basis for this belief. This syndrome typically involves obsessive thoughts and behaviors, such as constantly monitoring their partner's activities, checking messages or contacts, and limiting their partner's overall freedom. The term derives from Shakespeare's character Othello, who tragically murders his wife due to false suspicions of infidelity. Cinderella complex. The Cinderella complex is a psychological term that describes a woman's unconscious desire to be cared for by others, emulating Cinderella's story of being rescued by a prince. Women experiencing this complex may feel incapable of independence or self-sufficiency, often relying on others for support and decision-making. As they age, the complex may become more apparent, frequently stemming from societal expectations that emphasize beauty, politeness, and supportiveness while implying a woman's inability to change her circumstances without assistance, typically from a man. Napoleon complex. The Napoleon complex refers to an aggressive attitude exhibited by individuals of below-average height, who often develop traits of dominance, ambition, or aggressiveness as a means to compensate for their perceived lack of height. This term is inspired by Napoleon Bonaparte, who, despite being of average height in France, was recognized for his ambition and relentless pursuit of power. His stature appeared shorter in comparison to the taller elite soldiers and nobility he encountered. Hero syndrome. The hero syndrome is a psychological phenomenon that compels individuals to seek recognition for acts of heroism to unhealthy extents, sometimes even by fabricating harmful situations that they can later resolve to be seen as heroes. Persecution complex. The persecution complex is characterized by irrational and persistent beliefs that one is being persecuted, watched, or conspired against by others, typically without any substantial evidence to support these convictions. Individuals suffering from this complex often misinterpret others' actions, attributing malicious intentions where none exist. Delusions of persecution can vary widely, ranging from somewhat plausible scenarios to wholly improbable ones. Affected individuals may resort to extreme measures, such as isolating themselves to avoid perceived dangers. Guilt complex. The guilt complex is associated with intense feelings of responsibility and remorse concerning past actions that are viewed as negative, even if those actions were not caused by the individual. This complex may also encompass persistent beliefs and fears of committing future wrongs. Individuals with a guilt complex often experience guilt continuously, even when there is no logical basis for it. They tend to be excessively self-critical and believe they are responsible for all negative events that occur. God complex. The God complex is characterized by an extreme arrogance and sense of superiority, where individuals may believe they are above both their species and other species on Earth. They often refuse to acknowledge the possibility of making mistakes or failing, even when faced with complex problems or seemingly impossible tasks. Individuals with a God complex frequently consider their personal opinions as unquestionably correct, leading to dogmatic and stubborn attitudes. They tend to view the world as revolving around them, exhibit a lack of empathy, and commonly display traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. Those with a God complex might disregard societal norms and expectations, seeking special privileges or treatment, and this complex is frequently observed among business leaders, societal figures, and political leaders. Virgin complex. The virgin complex describes the struggle of individuals who feel they cannot have a satisfying sexual relationship with someone they deeply love, as they perceive that person as virginal or pure. In contrast, they may only experience sexual attraction toward individuals they do not love, whom they regard as impure. This internal conflict creates significant difficulties in merging love and sexuality within their relationships. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other videos. There's still a lot of interesting stuff. See you later.